Mechanicsville Nation, welcome back to the Medicine Lodge. It's Commish and Big Med here. We're at the Medicine Lodge. We're going to give you a recap in this Rodcast on the car show events that we've been attending. Introduce a new thing, tool segment, tech tool, little tech thing on the tools.
Tool time or
something. Well, not really. So
we can't do that. We could do time with tools.
Tim.
Time with your tools. Spend time with your tools.
Tim's tool.
Tool stroking. Tim's tool. There you go.
Tool stroking segment.
Yeah.
That's right.
Maybe talk a little bit about future projects we got coming up here. So we got a couple of car shows in last week. Both were in Kernersville. We had a Kernersville Cars and Coffees, which we talked to a guy, David Gilliland, about a couple of very nice Chargers.
Very nice. Yep.
His and hers.
Not
so much.
If they were here, it would be his and his.
Yes, but his wife did drive one of them.
She sure did.
Yeah, she
drove the Hemi.
Yeah,
she drove the Hemi in.
Yeah, and two very nice Chargers. A lot of detail went into refurbishing those cars, refinishing them. It did a nice job for the work he did on both of those cars.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't get an exact count, but I would venture to say there was a couple of hundred cars there.
There was at least one car there for every degree of ambient temperature.
Yeah,
so 200 is.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot.
Pretty close.
And then we wound up the weekend with the Kernersville Downtown show last week. Always a good show. It's put on by the Old Salem Classic Car Chapter. They do a really good job of promoting that and bringing people in. Saw a lot of nice cars. Talked with Dylan about his
rat
rod. He did all the work to it. It was good to see a younger guy.
About my age.
Yeah.
20s, 25.
30. Somewhere in there,
right,
give
30,
or take.
5.
But it was good to see youth investing in the automotive industry, the motorsports industry, and he fashioned a lot of work into that car.
Yeah, and it looked good.
It did.
Old flathead V8,
mm-hmm.
Old Ford flathead with a half a barrel carburetor.
Yeah, one barrel.
Yeah,
one barrel. Yeah, it was really nice. It was put together very nice. He had a very simple interior done to it, but I mean, it was tricked out. If you really walked around the car and looked at some of the things that he did to the car, he really invested some time and effort in it and made it look really nice and roadworthy.
And there was a lot of stuff too that was original.
Absolutely, the entire drivetrain was all original.
Yep, the rear end, the rear tires, the steering. What was that? Steering linkage?
Yes, the big tie rod end was all original.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really a nice drivable car. A lot of good touches on it. He had actually two cars there. Had the pickup there, the 32 pickup.
Yep.
And we maybe going to catch up with him at another show or something and maybe feature that car. That had a lot of nice touches on it as well. I think Ash caught that on video. Did a couple of zooms around that during the video. So
it had a little fatter tire on the back.
Yeah, more modern drivetrain in it. But man, that Model A was just really. It embodied the rat rod culture, and I think it was done really, really clean. You know, a lot of people kind of there's like a big gap into how people treat those cars. Some of them do a really tasteful build like what Dylan did, and then you got people that just pick up stuff off the ground and just weld it to the car, you know.
Yeah, they find shit on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Like pop rivet that on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But one thing I have not noticed, and don't y'all start doing it, a damn LS and a rat rod.
I don't know what.
That's, you know,
We need to come up with a shirt for you, LS hater or something.
Well, I mean, I think an LS is good for some things, but in a rat rod,
Yeah.
I think you'll burn in hell if you put an LS in a rat rod.
Okay. All right.
The flat head forward,
Oh, that you know,
that's like soft serve ice cream
Yeah.
right there, man.
I
Dipped in chocolate.
yeah, and I like to see them with a Cadillac or a Buick nail head, which are really
Yeah.
rare engines right now. I don't see a lot of cores of those being available, but that is old school. That is the cutting edge of the day when people were embodying what hot rodding would eventually become, and that was what they were transplanting into these cars to make them perform. And
A lot of rail cars at the drag strip had nail heads in them.
yes,
Sometimes more than one.
yes,
But that's a cool looking engine, man, with those flat. It just looks square. It just looks clean.
Mhm.
The Buick nail head motor, to
oh
me,
yeah,
just looks clean.
they're unmistakable when you see them.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, old Cadillac motors. Actually, I think Cadillac, when it first come out, was kind of like a high performance part of the GM umbrella.
Yeah.
Cause man, they just went straight to the cubic inch. We're just like,
Yeah.
we're going straight to
500 cubes.
5,000 cubic
500
inch motor.
cubes, and we're gonna
Right.
kick it. Yeah.
472s or whatever they were.
Yeah.
And even before that, 390s.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Cadillac was just like, there's no replacement
Mhm.
for displacement.
Yeah. You got to think they were moving big
Yeah.
cars. They needed torque to move big cars back then.
Oh yeah, there were some sleds. But even the other, like Mercury's, in Lincoln's that were weighed 5 tons, they didn't have big cubic inch, unless I'm not thinking of something. There wasn't a 460 back then.
No. A lot of straight eights.
Straight eights, yeah.
There's another our Oldsmobile Rocket. That was a straight 8. So they needed a lot of torque to move a lot of these bigger cars because they had full frames on them. Usually had like 28-inch tires, narrow 28-inch tires on them. So I mean that's a lot of mass to start moving. So you need a lot of torque.
You said mass.
Mass, yeah.
Right. Sweet.
So we're gonna kind of introduce a new segment here. I don't know exactly what it may morph into something. Something that struck me was I was doing some electrical work the other day, and there's really nothing in electrical work that I consider fun. Absolutely zero percentage of that is fun to me. But it makes it more frustrating when you don't have a tool that can accomplish the work that you need to work. And crimpers are I guess, would be a bane of my existence. Wire strippers and crimpers. And these models right here, I don't care for them. There is nothing, no credible information I can give you on those. Now this is made by Moroso. It is a wire stripper and crimper. It will also make your spark plugs, attach your spark plug ends on that. And I do like that because the anvil for the wire stripper part is very sharp. It does cut into the insulation to the appropriate depth based on the gauge of the wire and allows you to strip it back nicely. I avoid crimping stuff anymore because we may do a video, like a tool tech tip video on the proper wiring, how to join 2 wires together. Crimps will get you home, but crimps are not a permanent fix to a wiring problem. You're just going to initiate more issues with a crimp future tense down the line. This is also the ability to make spark plug wire ends. So you don't buy an pre-cut length spark plug wires. I make up my own by using the spark plug wire ends and building them to custom length to avoid, say, headers, exhaust manifolds, or whatnot. But this is made by Moroso. It's a wire crimp and cutter. But it looks like, yet again, Big Med, you have outclassed me on tool.
Well, I'm in the cubic money.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm joking. What's funny is we both brought out the same stuff as far as crap and good stuff.
Yeah.
So these, even though it's a Klein, okay, these wire strippers right here will cause you to go through your entire profane vocabulary. And if you don't have one, you will. Especially if you try to crimp with these. I know that's not what they're really intended for, but they do have a tip to crimp. So Milwaukee has an awesome wire stripper that I purchased, and I don't even know why I have these anymore. It's junk. But this is the Bomb Diggity for strippers. I have another tool like that I use for crimping. But yeah, it's funny that you see
'cause
these.
we didn't even talk about what
Yeah.
tools we were going to talk about
Right.
today. That is kind of weird.
This is like my throwdown. This is my throwdown wire stripper right here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get caught with this,
To distract somebody.
but I would use it.
Yeah. In a pinch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, probably the most used tool in my shop is this.
Another Milwaukee.
Dude, Milwaukee. That's where they made tools famous. Right?
I think that was a beer, but go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. So, yeah, Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee stuff because I refuse to assimilate and buy that yellow bullshit. So I like Milwaukee stuff. I've used their stuff for years. I've got a whole drawer full of red cordless tools over there, woodworking and car stuff, because I just got tired of dragging an extension cord around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're working out at the utility building or wherever, and you got 8,000 miles of extension cord out there, so I just went that route, and they are expensive, so it's like a piece at a time.
It is an investment, and it's crazy that when I was growing up and working in the shop with Dad, and then even being a line mechanic myself, you would reach for a wrench or you would reach for a ratchet, and now you go into the shop and these guys have a whole toolbox dedicated to a charging station with all these drivers in there.
Right.
And they'll grab one of those quicker than they'll grab a ratchet handle. And man, I was overjoyed at the time that I got to actually use a speed wrench on something. And yeah, I thought I was a real mechanic using a speed wrench. But now these guys, this younger generation is just they're gonna grab for a power tool every single time.
Yeah, you just got to make sure to adjust your torque settings right here, which sometimes I forget. After half of one of those, I forget. And I busted a socket the other day because I was tightening it up too tight and the socket busted. So anyway,
that doesn't take the place of a torque wrench.
No, it does not. And it'll twist your wrist.
It
too,
will.
So.
It'll ring them off.
So if you're limp wristed
Don't touch it.
and drive a Mustang,
Don't touch it.
leave this alone. Right.
The throwdown.
The throwdown.
Yeah, the throwdown.
Yep.
And oddly, we both brought ratchet handles out.
True that.
Go ahead with what
True
you got
that.
there.
So this is a Craftsman, because I'm all about a Craftsman. Most of the time I will buy vintage Craftsman tools that were made in the USA. I don't think this is one of those because I had to have one in a pinch. But anyway, Craftsman is my go-to, and I like the swivel head ratchet. And man, I use this thing all the time, all the time. I know my favorite cousin, Wayne Hicks, is a wrench guy, but I prefer the ratchet. It's faster. I ain't got time to fool with a wrench, man. I got to tighten this thing up now. Got to make some racket, heat some water.
Got to get it done.
Got time for no wrench.
Yeah.
We got to go eat lunch here in a minute.
Go get a cheeseburger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Now it is interesting that has a flat handle on it. I haven't seen that. You have actually showed me something new.
Cubic money, man.
Yeah, I do like that flat handle.
Yep.
And I prefer a swivel head myself. And it's kind of funny that we both, like I said, brought ratchet handles. This is something that Pops was jazzed on. He had to have one of these, and it turns out it seems to be quite handy here lately. It is a ratchet handle. Will change on the fly, but the most interesting thing about this is that if you ever find yourself in a tight spot where you can't get the ratchet to move far enough to catch the next gear on the head, you can turn the handle here and it turns the square drive.
How about that?
And it has a place for an extension, so you can attach an extension and a ratchet on that. So I thought it was pretty neat. I mean,
That's innovative.
Yeah, glad he bought it. I didn't buy it, but but yeah, that's it's made by Pro Exxon. We'll see how it lasts. It'll get some use. See how long it lasts.
So you had it for a while?
A couple months. So it's relatively new. I mean, it hasn't been put to the test yet. You know.
That Chevrolet will do that.
Oh, it will. It will. It will.
So
All right.
what's our next endeavor?
Well, we talked as a group about a week and a half ago. I was really intrigued by a show that you and I kind of watch is Engine Masters, and they took a Chevrolet, a Mopar, and a Ford, and built them to see where the power kind of lied in a dyno test or whatever. And what I would like to do is, we know we can just you can just write it on the wall. We know what kind of parts we can buy typically for about how much money to put in a small block Chevrolet and get a predetermined amount of horsepower out of it. What I would like to do is find a couple of donor blocks, a Mopar block and a Ford block, and get with Wayne at HRE, get the blocks prepped, and get some stuff that just everybody is readily accessible to, and put it in these motors and get it cranked up and get it running and see real world where we're at.
Not cubic money,
No,
but your money.
yes, really look at the parts, compare the parts out, and try to get the best bang for the buck and get them running and show everybody how the engines go together, the prep it takes to put them together, get them mounted on the engine stand, and get them cranked and running.
Low budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stuff you can refurbish.
Budget minded in these builds.
Something that AutoZone, Advance, and even O'Reilly's may have in stock.
Home of the metric liquid wrench.
They are the world's most friendliest auto parts store.
They strive.
Right.
They strive. Reaching for the stars.
I understand that. I did the same thing.
All right. So that's something we got on the horizon.
Yeah.
Anything you would particularly like to see us do? I know you got the pit bike project. Is that coming along?
The pit bike is slow.
Okay.
Because of the rain, really,
Yeah.
and the heat. Because, you know, it dawned on me the other day, I have air conditioning
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
when it was like 400 degrees out here.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's a slow go. I don't, you know, we'll see if it runs or not.
All right. Okay.
But it has fresh paint on it.
All right. Well, there's
It
paint.
looks better.
Paint is potential.
It is. It
Okay.
is.
All
You
right.
can cover up a plethora of dog
problem.
shit with a rattle can.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been working on.
All right. All right. Well, looks like we got plenty of stuff on the horizon for you guys and gals. Remember, like and subscribe at theMechanicsville.com. If you need to reach out to us, drop us a comment in the link below the video here. If you need to reach out to us, remember theMechanicsville at gmail.com, and we'll get back in touch with you over that. Got some great stuff on the horizon here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check the video link at the bottom for the merchandise. Coming at you soon.